My name's Ted. I'm a New Zealand firearms collector specialising in infantry small arms from the Second World War. This is something I don't ordinarily do, but I'm going to give a shout out to a young guy that has a channel up on YouTube. His name is MarshalZhukov, and he's been very, very helpful to me, giving me information about the Soviet family of weapons as used in the Second World War, particularly the Mosin Nagant family. So this is a shout out and a plug, MarshalZhukov. Any information that you want, assistance that you want, video requests, etc., dealing with Soviet weapons particularly, and specifically the Mosin Nagant family, he's the guy to go to.
Well, thanks, Ted. If anybody hasn't checked out Ted's channel, you guys better get on over there. He's got a collection of World War II small arms that will probably make a lot of people jealous. So this is a Mosin Nagant rifle, as we can tell. I'm sure everybody's already deduced that by now. But what kind? What kind? Maybe you can tell by the little arrow there beneath the screw. This is an M91 that I have been trying to find for a long time. And in one of my other videos that I just put up there, I mentioned I hadn't found one of these yet. Well, here it is, Sestroryetsk 1896. This is the oldest rifle that I have now. Previously it was the 1897 Tula receiver on my M39. So I haven't taken it apart yet. The bolt isn't matching. There's some different stamps on the bolt. Tula's stamped there on the connecting bar. And another little Tula hammer stamp in there. There's an Izhevsk bow and arrow here. And a little Tula hammer right there, it looks like. Another Izhevsk bow and arrow stamp there. Somebody put an aftermarket screw in there, a machine screw to hold that on there, so hopefully, if we're lucky, it's got the same thread pitch as an original. Maybe find an original somewhere, but if not, oh well, I guess. And there is a stock repair on here. It's interesting. Stupid thing rattling around here, but it doesn't look too bad. So we're going to take her apart here. I've got a handguard that'll go on it from an old Tula M91 that I bought that was in a Remington stock. And the Remington stock has a small crack in it, so I don't shoot that stock. I took the rifle out and put it in an extra 9130 stock I had. So the handguard, I think, will go right on. Well, things just keep getting a little more interesting the farther and further I get this thing taken apart. We can see here on the top flat of the receiver, it looks like the logo that was there has been peened over. I don't know if that's something the Russians would do or not, but I've seen Finnish Mosin Nagants where that's been peened like that, or else if there's a little divot there, a nice circular divot, they've machined or milled off the original Russian crest. This has an interesting one-piece interrupter and interrupter spring design. There's a small arrow stamp on it. I don't know if this is an original design feature of the rifle, or if it could have been stamped sometime after with the arrow. And then under the barrel shank there are a lot of marks. There is the arrow again right there, and a lot of other marks all over on it. And the tang date matches the date on the barrel shank, 96 with the arrow. pre-1900 date stamp on all M91 rifles, 2 digits. And we can see where it sits in the stock line. You can see where the bluing is at and where it stops. And then of course, when the handguard was on it, and where the handguard stops. Very interesting rifle. May be able to see the Tula stamp right there, and on the opposite side of that is an S. Very interesting. And on the sear spring, it appears that that stamp right there beneath the hole where the screw goes, it's hard to tell on camera. I may have gotten a good enough picture on a digital camera. It appears that is a small shield with a B inside of it. So, if anybody knows anything about that, do share. So I'm going to take this butt plate off this stock and see if there's any marks or stamps beneath it. It's got some scratches and stuff along it. It's hard to tell if it's been refinished. It looks like at some point somebody could have dragged some sandpaper over it, or definitely looks like an old sanding wheel or something's been over that. No cleaning rod, unfortunately. There's the aftermarket screw that somebody put in there. I don't know if it's stripped out, and I don't really need to take it off or anything, so I'll probably just end up leaving it. You can see some lands and grooves in there. Doesn't look too bad. I'm going to run some patches through it, see if it'll clean up a little bit. It looks a little bit dark. So should be able to shoot, so I think that's not a bad acquisition. Yeah, it shined up a little bit, maybe.